Welcome, everyone, to another session of the Sunday Sangha Gathering. So, we're continuing to look at various different methods of meditation. And so far, we've been looking at things that help us stabilize our mind and also to rest naturally uncontrived in the natural state, which is called resting in presence. So, what we're going to look at now is the techniques for visualization. And so many people will be familiar with this. I mean, famously within the Tibetan tradition, most people are aware of these kind of Yidam deities. So Tara is one of these. Now, the thing about these kind of practices is that they are incredibly complex and they're very difficult to do. And what people try to do is just jump straight in the deep end. And I think that's actually quite difficult. So we have these complex forms. This is actually quite a simple type of visualization. We have what are called limitless palaces that people meditate on in the highest Yoga Tantra, and that is incredibly detailed in all its aspects, even how the walls are constructed. The types of architectural features in the palace are all specific, and they're also specific to a particular tradition. There's just no point trying to just do that straight away. It's really difficult. And then we have something else, which is, oh, these are what are called significant objects, by the way, deities, Buddhas, and also what we call like seed syllables. So these are a little bit more easy. We often meditate on these. Like this is Tam. This is Tara's seed symbol. One that many people are familiar with is Om or Hong, for example. But again, it's complicated to be able to hold that kind of shape. So if you want to develop your skill, then really, as I always say, the best thing to do is start really basic, because that's how you're going to develop some kind of acuity, this kind of ability or skill in meditation. This is something I experienced in my 4-year retreat. We were doing complex highest yoga tantra uh, practices. Essentially, they're pujas, but they're extremely complicated. And we did this for years. And the teacher had said, you really need to develop a very clear visualization. Most people struggled with this. And so, one thing that's really good to do is just to start with something simple, like one aspect. For example, on Tara, you could just start with the eyes. But what we're going to do is start from the very beginning, ABCs, and we're going to look at basic shapes or objects. Now, a good one to use is just a dot, like a black circle. It's quite a good one to use. And because it's not complicated, right? Something that we can bring to mind quite easily. And it doesn't have to be like black on white. It could be a white. For example, it could be a white, what we call bindus. They're like drops, but it could just be a white, cynosure, this kind of glowing um, crystal or something like that. But it should be as simple as possible. And it also doesn't have to be round. You can be triangular. You can use a square, something like that. Whatever comes naturally and easily to the mind. I wouldn't recommend doing something like, letters or a star. Well, you can use those as well. If you have a kind of particular affinity for a kind of conceptual object, like if you've been doing Tara practice for 20 years, then Tara will disappear to your mind. So you can use that. And there's many things in your environment, for example, that you see every morning when you wake up. And some of those things come to mind very easily. So you want to choose something like that. And you want to try when you're meditating is to keep that stable. So the tendency with your mental object is sometimes they'll grow or they'll shrink or they'll fade in and out or they'll move or you'll lose the object. I mean, that's the main thing that happens. You forget what you're doing and you start daydreaming. So what you try to do is you try to fix this mental object in your mind and focus on it. Now, it's better to have your eyes open, but if sometimes this is what happens, and it's quite common in retreat, is you're meditating, you look at the picture of the deity, and then you close your eyes and try to visualize it, and then you meditate with your eyes open. So it's okay to sometimes close your eyes if you have to close your eyes, but it's better if you can hold that mental object with the eyes open. It really is super beneficial to your meditation. So as usual, what we're going to do is we'll say some aspiration prayers. I'll play the gong, and then we'll meditate on your chosen object. Keep it very simple. And the main thing to do is try to keep it stable, stable size, stable position, and don't forget your object. Don't start thinking about other things. And when you do forget, don't worry about it. Just return to the object again. The action is just to simply return without involvement back to your object. Mental objects are much more difficult than physical external objects. And in many ways, they're more difficult than just meditating on emptiness or in space. So anyway, well, not true emptiness. And meditating on emptiness is meditating on some kind of realization. Okay, so glorious, precious Root Lama, above my head on a lotus moon seat, you care for me with great kindness. Please bestow the cities of body, speech, and mind to the Buddha, Dharma, and Supreme Sangha. Until enlightened I go for refuge. May I, by the virtue of meditation, become awakened to benefit beings to the Buddha, Dharma, and Supreme Sangha. Until enlightened I go for refuge. May I, by the virtue of meditation, become awakened to benefit beings to the Buddha, Dharma, Supreme Sangha. Until enlightened I go for refuge. May I, by the virtue of meditation, become awakened to benefit beings with the supreme and precious awakening mind. Has not arisen, may it arise. And once it's arisen, may it not diminish, forever continue to flourish and thrive. I prostrate, make offerings and confess, rejoice, request, and supplicate. Whatever slight merit I gather here, to Buddhahood I dedicate. Om Mani Padme Hum. 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 Om Mani Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum.
Om mani padme hum. Mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum. Mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum. Mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum. Mani padme Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum. Mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum. Om
Om
mani
Mani Padme Hum. By this merit may I obtain omniscience, defeat the enemy wrongdoing, and so free all beings from the ocean of existence, with its stormy waves of birth, aging, sickness, and death. Precious mind of awakening, may it arise from those who are without it, and never fade from those who hold it, but continually grow from strength to strength. May the glorious Lama's lotus feet be firm. May bliss and joy fill the reaches of space as we gather the accumulations and purify obscurations. May I and all without exception be swiftly brought to Buddhahood. So if you're following along every week with the meditation sessions and you're doing correctly, then what you should be doing is during the week, you should be repeating that particular technique every day for a certain amount of time, at least half an hour. And that way, what will happen is you'll develop some kind of experience in that particular technique. And then when we move on to the next thing, the next week onwards, then you'll be able to build on your previous experience. So if you're following not sequentially, for example, if you're just looking back at the previously recorded sessions, then you can spend as much time as you like on each stage before you move on to the next, or you can just keep one method for yourself continually. That's fine. The idea is that through your practice, you'll develop some level of experience, and by that, and you'll become more skilled in your meditation. So, thank you for joining us. Until next time, see you.